Hi everyone, welcome to today's session on leveling up cybersecurity for critical infrastructure. I will share some insight and lessons from Russia-Ukraine war. Before we dive in, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Steven Xu. I've been working for cybersecurity field for 26 years. Right now, I'm Vice President at the TXOne network in charge global marketing. And let's be honest, TXOne network focus on OT cybersecurity. We provide the solution special design for the operation technology. Okay, so here is today's agenda. We will discuss the trend of war, and after that, we'll talk about why critical infra become primary target during warfare. What is the reason behind it? After that, I will provide some observation during warfare. I also create some idea and provide the countermeasure suggestion. Finally, we will provide the recommendation how to enhance critical infrastructure in terms of cybersecurity. Okay, the modern warfare is toward to the hybrid attack. Connected attack usually involve conventional military attack method that include missile, bombing, air force attack. The main goal is try to destroy the target, but it comes with a high cost for both sides in terms of money and casualty. On the other hand, non-connected attack usually will create chaos, paralyze the target system. Examples include propaganda, electronic warfare, cyber attack. But this kind of attack do require specialized resource and skill set, also allow you to create the necessary damage. In recent years, we see several disasters introduced by hybrid attack, which means combine connected attack and non-connected attack together. So to cause the damage really require specialized planning, also resource, but that allow you to create the major amount of degree of damage. To react this kind of attack in real time is very challenging. One example, like a drone attached with a deadly weapon, you have seen in the warfare during the Russia-Ukraine war. That's one example. Okay, why critical infra become the primary target during warfare? Because critical infra contain three main characteristics that include centralization, continuity, complexity. Centralization, which means attacker can easily locate the location about the critical infra, no matter physically or digitally. For example, utilize the IP address, Google Maps, Google Earth, you can reach the target. Another characteristic is continuity, because critical infra usually is the process automation, which means a single point of failure will introduce significant impact. And also the nature of OT environment content with a diverse system with legacy asset. So which means to deploy proper cybersecurity countermeasure within that environment is very difficult. Another word to say that cybersecurity in the critical infra is weak. Also, critical asset so expensive. It's kind of challenging to do the spare part, prepare it in advance. Okay. According to NSA and CISA, they mentioned there are 5 main objectives against critical infra that include disrupt, disable, deny, deceive, destroy. We can refer that as the 5D objective. Here is the mapping table for your reference. Okay, so in order for attacker to reach the objective, that also introduces the challenge for a defender. So what kind of combination of a cyber attack they will conduct for what kind of target system? Let's take the disruption as one example. The main purpose and objective is cause the system not able to work for temporary or system network down. So the challenge really depends how well you prepare the countermeasure in advance. The possible attack DDoS is pretty common. Also leverage malware or ransomware. The target system could be the system network, SCADA system, or HMI. Disabling the critical process that will introduce a lot of impact. So usually will take a longer time to recover. That's for disable. And denying access for the critical process can be achieved. During warfare, we see a lot of attackers leverage the wiper malware to cause the damage. In terms of deceive and destroy, usually it takes a longer time for preparation. Also need a special skill set. You need to understand the POC, DCS, or even SMCS. So during warfare, we think attacker will highly concentrate on disrupt, disable, and deny. Okay, here is the Russian-Ukraine war. Okay, we have identified some learning. Okay, the first learning, a little bit concerned, is the cooperation between different cybersecurity threat actors. Okay, for example, like the Russian cyber criminal group, they provide the malware, like for example, like the Dark Crystal Rat, Warzone Rat, the malware to Russian hackers group. And Russian hackers group actually provide stolen information to the state sponsor, allow them to do the precise wiper attack. For example, APT-28, they are very active. Okay, that's one observation we've seen that. So, remaining question to us, during the warfare, we are facing very strong cyber attack. How about from the defender side? It's kind of challenging for the cybersecurity solution provider to work together during the warfare. Okay. Another observation is hybrid attack. While the Russia conducted a kinetic attack on February 24, 2022, they already conduct several preemptive non-kinetic attacks. They attack NATO, also other countries like Denmark, Norway, United States. They also managed to attack Ukraine critical infra for several times. Following February 24, Russia conduct multiple wave attacks, and they have different waves. The first wave happened in March. They target Ukraine communication facility. For example, Ukra Telecom. Also, Starlink provided by SpaceX has been attacked. In April, they conduct the second wave attack. The main target is the energy facility. For example, like the cyber criminal group, like the state-sponsored group, Cybersecurity, they leverage Destroy 2, targeting the power grid that caused the power outage situation happen in Ukraine. In May, the third wave attack happened. So they target the Ukraine government agency. Through the collaboration between the threat actor, they launched several DDoS, also the wiper attack. So in the year 2022, you can see that Russia actually highly leveraged wiper attack. Within that year, already more than 60 different families have been discovered through the observation. Also, more than 25 countries also get affected. Here is the attack method. Okay, try to share to you because they want to reach the objective. First one, create the chaos. The propaganda method is pretty effective. They're sending the fake SM message. Also infiltrating the television and the broadcast channel to send out the fake news. They also managed to hack into the Ukraine celebrity account to send out the false information. Okay, that's the typical way to create the propaganda chaos. And also one thing is that they managed to weaponize the information. How they get the information? Actually, they're using the pretty old school method, phishing mail. The phishing email still effective. Once they get the information, hackers group provide to the state-sponsored group to do the precise wiper attack. In order to create the disruption, they highly leverage the DDoS attack. Okay, so for example, KillNet, pretty well-known hackers group in Russia, they conduct several large-scale DDoS attacks. In terms of the disable, deny, and destroy, the wiper attack, they heavily leverage that. That's one observation. We try to provide the information here for you. And in turn, the countermeasure against 3 different wave attack. That's some suggestion here. For a communication facility, you should establish the backup communication channel. Okay, for example, LEO, low Earth orbit satellite system can be very effective. Okay, that's one thing. It doesn't matter to the energy or government. The first thing you need to take care is the entry gateway, especially firewall, VPN gateway. You need to enhance the security. So for the energy sector, you also need to conduct the network segmentation to reduce the impact, to maintain the minimum availability. And also for the energy sector, one recommendation, you should prepare the spare part. During the warfare, it's very difficult to get it. You need to prepare it in advance. Another suggestion is that you need to integrate your SOC team into the substation. It doesn't matter if it's a power grid or water facility. Also, you should consider include the FNCS into the SOC team, be able to identify abnormal behavior. For the government, of course, the credential is still a big problem. You need to enhance that. Also, to reduce the impact of a wiper attack, endpoint protection is necessary with network segmentation. One last thing about the government, you need to establish the government-only official channel to against the propaganda. Okay, that's some observation during warfare. So, how about a recommendation? Okay, here we have suggest something. You need to prepare the 4 possible attack phase against the critical info. So I managed to put the method and objective into this chart. Okay, for the initial access, actually the main objective is get a credential, legit credential with high privilege for them to prepare the next phase attack, which means is infiltrate. Usually attacker actually will use the legit account, do the disguise technique, try to evade the detection for cybersecurity. So allow them to establish the command and control channel, which means they can conduct a lateral movement to identify the weak point of a system, weak point about the operation environment. So next phase, they will identify the critical asset to do the attack. They probably will exploit the vulnerability from the critical asset, also conduct initial malware attack to accomplish the objective about disrupt, disable, deny. The last phase, malicious destruction. Usually at this stage, they will try to cause large damage as much as possible. So wiper attack, they can conduct at this stage. Okay. So here is another table for your reference. We map the different phase with a system architecture view. So for initial asset, infiltrate, critical asset attack, and malicious destruction, that's a different location. Okay. So how about the suggestion about the countermeasure? For initial access, there are 2 common ways to get inside. The first one, of course, is the entry gateway. For example, like a VPN, firewall, and edge router. Okay. And according to US Advisory Security, actually, they mentioned Russia attacker, they are highly leveraged router vulnerability to get intrusion. So in last year, we also see the 2 very critical vulnerability have been discovered. Like a Fortinet, they have a 0.1 vulnerability in firewall, also invented. They also have vulnerability being leveraged. Also in last year, you can see that there's more than 133 VPN vulnerability have been discovered. 7 of them are non-exploit. Okay. The suggestion here is that you should do the factory reset first. and wipe out the malicious file. Also try to upgrade the latest firmware. Also change the default username and password. Okay. Also enhance your firewall rule on one interface. Also, the most important, you can consider to retire the outdated gateway. Also try to avoid to use the short-haul router as a gateway device. Okay. Another good old solution is that actually they leverage the phishing email and compromise the credential. That's still very effective. The suggestion here is nothing different from the IT cybersecurity. You need to enhance your credential management. Okay. Try to implement multi-factor authentication. Also, perhaps consider use the zero trust model for deployment. And also, you need to regularly conduct phishing email training and drill to increase awareness. Okay. The next phase, infiltrate. Attacker at this stage, they already get the legit username password. So they will try to disguise from the cybersecurity detection. There are several techniques they can use. The most popular one is living off the land. They will leverage the legit tools and process already exist in the compromised system, then conduct and carry out the malicious activity. Last year, Volt Typhoon is one example for your reference. The suggestion here is a kind of challenge because they use legit account. Also, what they did is all difficult to validate is the abnormal or not. So the best way is to deploy the SDR solution combined with the SOC team to identify abnormal behavior. Okay. So next phase is about the critical asset attack. Because the nature of an OT operation environment, it contains a lot of different system, also legacy asset. So which means they can easily cause a disrupt, disable, even deny attack. So due to the nature of the practice in the OT environment, it's kind of challenging for them to do the system upgrade or patch the system. So in the reality, that's difficult for them to do that. So the suggestion here is that we will try to encourage you to do the risk assessment for the OT environment first, to identify and categorize the risk and organize into the different zone for your management. Then you can conduct a network segmentation or even micro segmentation based on risk level in each zone. For the critical asset, you cannot deploy the security countermeasure due to nature. Maybe resource is not enough, computer power is not allow you to perform the cybersecurity scanning. So I will recommend you can implement whitelisting management, no matter both for the network or endpoint. Also, another suggestion, you can consider using the virtual patch to do the protection in front of a critical asset. Okay. The last one, at this stage, usually the damage is higher. Because what? Because they already passed previous 3 steps. So they will try to use the malware or even wiper to cause large damage. The suggestion here I can provide is try to reduce the impact and get your recovery time as soon as possible. So you can consider multi-layer defense. The best thing is that you can use the EDR combined network segmentation together. Actually can get you more time for recovery. Also, if you have a spare part available, then you can get more recovery time at this stage. So the key takeaway for today's session is that you need to prepare the worst during the warfare. The reason for that is the OT cybersecurity, the threat detection is difficult. Also, the damage is harder. So consider to deploy cybersecurity countermeasure in the OT environment. It's not just for the protection, also give you more time to recover, especially during the warfare. Okay, that's help you to maintain the minimum availability, be able to operate the everything in the critical infra. One thing I would recommend everybody can consider is try to utilize the operation characteristic in the OT environment. Compare with IT system. OT system usually is single purpose, and IT system usually is multi-purpose. So you can consider use the machine learning mechanism, increase the threat detection. Also allow you to do the abnormal behavior warning. So create a SafeNet for your corporate or even for critical infra. Here is the Purdue reference architecture. You can see that at this moment, when we talk about cybersecurity, it's more focused on level 4 and 5. It's all about the credential compromise. So as we explained to that, they will try to infiltrate in this level and try to create the C2 channel for phone home. But from level 3, level 2, level 1, and level 0, some of the solution actually deploy in the level 3, but it's still a little bit like IT system. You should consider to do more larger scale deployment for level 2 and level 1, especially a lot of critical assets actually are at these 2 levels. So the way to do that, you can consider not just network segmentation, you can consider to deploy endpoint security, special design for the OT environment. Also, you can use the IPS appliance. Okay, that's a different form factor you can consider, small one or even large one, to have a multi-layer protection. That's the best recommendation I can provide for today's session. Okay, that concludes my sharing today. Hopefully you can learn something. If you got any OT cybersecurity question, please contact TXOne Network. Thank you for listening.